Week 14 Survivor considerations. There's a bunch of them. 45 entries left after the absolute massacre that was Thanksgiving and Black Friday in Circa Survivor. This, of course, is your standard $1,000 entry fee. 18,718 entries to begin with. We're down to 45. It's the highest percentage now. This year, through week 13, it's really 14 of the 20. It's the highest percentage ever knocked down. So here are the considerations this week, Kelly. The Browns are a consideration. I know it's only a 3.5-point favorite, but they are 3.5-point favorites at home against Tennessee. I would not play them. Everybody has them available. All 45 entries have them available. But are you really going to donk off and lose on the Browns? You really going to do that?
No. I can't believe you put it on this list.
I just threw it on just for giggles. For giggles. Here's another one that I would not play beyond the Browns, and that is a higher spread. The Buffalo Bills are 5.5-point favorites versus Cincinnati. You do have an at Cleveland game later, but this is Joe Burrow. We just saw Joe Burrow beat the Ravens. I wouldn't mess with this, despite the fact that only 7 of those remaining entries have the Bills available to them. I wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah, the only one I'll bring up is if you thought the Pittsburgh Steelers run defense looked bad, Bengals, welcome in.
Yeah. So I wouldn't play that either. One more I would not play is the Rams. The Rams are 8-point favorites at Arizona. You do have an at Atlanta game later on. Only 8 remaining entries out of the 45 have the Rams available to them. But I just think you save the Rams at this point because I think they're better options. Mm-hmm. And Arizona kind of scares me.
And they're one of those teams, if you think they're the best team in the league like I do, in theory, you could use them any week, right? In theory, they're going to be favored every week.
Okay, here's who I absolutely would consider playing.
Yeah.
Buccaneers are 8.5-point favorites against the Saints. I know there's 38 of the remaining 45 that have the Bucs available to them. So you might not be on a plus EV island with the Bucs, but there's no other place to play them as good as this. So I think the Buccaneers versus New Orleans, that's a definite consideration. I think beyond the Buccaneers, there's 4 others. The Broncos are 7.5-point favorites at the Raiders. There is not a better place to play the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Yes, they do play on Christmas, but it's at Kansas City. I doubt you're saving them for that. And only 3 of the remaining 45 have the Broncos. So if I have the Broncos available, I'm absolutely playing them. I think you will see Broncos 3 on the Circa Survivor pick list when all is said and done this week. Seahawks, 7.5-point favorites at Atlanta. Only 4 entries have the Seahawks available to them of the remaining 45. If you don't have the one in the previous example that we just talked about, the Broncos, I'd probably play the Seahawks here. Not really a better spot to play them later. Ravens, 5.5-point favorites hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's only 5 of the remaining 45 that have the Ravens available to them. It's kind of scary, but this is your last spot to play them. You don't like that one, do you? I can tell.
Oh, no, but this is... Yeah. But you're right. It's the best time to play
them. I don't think they're the best choice, but they're a choice.
Yeah.
And then the Packers are 6.5-point favorites versus the Chicago Bears. Only 3 of the remaining 45 entries have the Packers available to them. So I think if you are one of those 3, you have to consider it. But it really does, for me, it comes down more to the who else has this team available to them. If it's me and only a couple other entries, I think you gravitate towards that, with the Broncos being the best choice of all of them.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at 0 cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.